Enter the Crucible to fight, to crush, to conquer.
Sequel to the best 5 on 10 game of this generation, Destiny 2 does a fantastic job of improving on the strengths of the original game, along with bringing some new additions to the table. Like before, you're a Guardian, a souped up Power Ranger that can shoot space magic from your fingertips and summon force fields at will. This sci-fi shared world shooter begins with the last city on Earth under siege from the game's big baddie, Dominus Gaul. Before you know it, you're stripped of all your powers and are forced to regain them before you can take the fight to Gaul and his army. What seems like an interesting premise of regaining your powers after a brief opening period, much like the Metroid Prime games, could have resulted in a more engaging experience. Instead, thanks to some narrative loopholes, you get them back just 10 minutes later. Combined with surprisingly on-the-nose writing that tells you that this is your destiny, makes Destiny 2's much hyped storytelling chops surprisingly pedestrian. But this means little if you're interested in taking down hordes of disposable aliens. Destiny 2 serves them up in droves. It's another thing altogether that there's very little difference in enemy variety compared to the last game, which old-timers could find annoying. The gunplay is solid though, an adequate amount of recoil from hand cannons, wisps of smoke from rocket launchers, and punchy auto rifles make putting a bullet between the eyes of its many extraterrestrials a treat. You'll visit a new location, finish a quest before you can explore it freely, and then partake in events and side missions known as adventures. Rinse and repeat the same for about 12 hours. The levels themselves are varied fare. From floating platforms on the moon Titan to underground installations, they're fantastic to look at. Strong art direction complements gorgeous graphics, making Destiny 2 quite the looker. Further strengthening its production values are music and voice acting. The latter has solid performances through and through, while the former might not have the legendary Marty O'Donnell at the helm, but you won't notice. Destiny 2's soundtrack mixes familiarity with just enough difference that's warranted for a sequel. But what's far from a treat are a host of concerns. For one, gliding as a warlock feels broken. Expect a lot of trial and error to get past vast chasms, which the game has aplenty. In addition to this, respawning seems iffy. Multiple times, we were brought back to life several checkpoints ahead of where we were supposed to be. This was problematic as we could not progress further because we had not cleared previous areas that were now inaccessible because the game pushed us so far ahead. Reloading our save file fixed this, but it's frustrating all the same. As were jumps to a black screen before a cutscene, making the events seem not as cohesive or fluid as they could be. Instead, they felt jarring, as do the game's microtransactions. A mix of cosmetic, which forces you to pay to change the color of your armor, something the first game didn't have you do, and seemingly pay to win. Some of Destiny 2's microtransactions allow you to boost your health regeneration and the rate at which you can use special abilities or grenades. Call us old-fashioned, but these have no place in a $60 or 4,199 rupee game that'll be supported with paid content packs through the years. As we said, Destiny 2 does a fantastic job of improving on the strengths of the original game, along with bringing some new additions to the table. However, not all of them are good or warranted, marring what could have been a perfect sequel. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at Gadgets360.